And we're off. Right, so let me pull up the chat board. No, I do not want to update my computer. Let's see, and let's get some music kicked off here. Okay, live. Hello, hello. Let's see. Chat board, and we're good. Where is my little test? Bam! There we go. How are y'all? Happy Tuesday to you. Cheers. With a lime today. With a lime. Make sure the volume on the mic is turned all the way up. Here we go. Okay, going high class today, kids. Putting a lime in it. Remember, no need to ever put your thumb in a beer because the lime juice is heavier than the beer. And when you take a sip, it mixes it all up anyway. Right. So, how are you guys? Welcome to another live edition of Making You a Bartending Pro. My name is Jason. And we'll just wait for everybody to trickle in here. And the way this works is it's just a live stream. No special plans of any sort. It's basically open format Q&A. You ask me questions, I answer them. Generally, we talk about bartending, but we can talk about whatever you want. We can talk about the weather, how it's hot as shit everywhere. We can talk about how in California we're burning the hell. What's up, Fitzgerald, Mabdeen, Shake? Woo. Cheers. Me personally, it is hot as hell out here. Shake, I know your state is battling some fires as well. So hopefully we all make it through all good. Okay. We will. Melanie, use your resume template. Got great reviews. Hook up your Patreon when it pays off. Right on. Thank you, Melanie. Stoked. Hey, Shakes. Really? Yeah. I don't know. I guess there's a bunch of big fires out in, right? In Colorado? Are you in Colorado? Big fires in Colorado. Yeah, same thing. It's huge, just like the biggest fires ever in California, and it's like, oh, I didn't know. I mean, I knew there's fires, but I didn't know it was that bad. It's a big state, and all the fires are like way up north. So we're all good down here in the sunshine. Yeah, I don't watch the news either. Nadine, smog, heat, Cali feels great. Yeah, smog's not too bad. Not around here in San Diego. Definitely a lot worse up north as you get into LA and shit. Let's see here. So, good. You guys shouldn't watch the news. It's bad for you. And most of it, it's all slanted. It all has an ulterior motive. And some outlets don't even claim to be news. They're just entertainment, meaning that they don't have to check their sources and they can just spout whatever. But we're not talking about news. We're talking about bartending. Anybody get out there and get a job? Congrats, Melanie, on getting some attention from your resume. Stoked. Like I said, I've used those same ones to get hired at my places. So I know they work. It's been raining here in Aurora. Oh man, I wish we could have had some rain right now. I would take some rain. Raining for 2 weeks here in West Virginia. Wow, that's crazy. Well, it's hot as shit and burning to hell out in California. Mav Dean, planning on starting as a barback. Make sure you go watch that video I just put up, Mav Dean. It's all about being a good barback and how to get promoted up into being a bartender. So I just posted that guy. Go check that out. Hello from Iceland, Kristen Lisa. Or is it Christine Lisa? Welcome to the show. Welcome from Iceland. I love that we get a worldwide audience. Good to see you guys. Welcome. So yeah, no format. Just open Q&A. Barback the Bartender video. Make sure you go check that out, Mav Dean. That one that Shake just put up. Yeah. What's up, Miss Contreras? I am well. I hope you are well as well. Hope you guys are staying cool. I'm like sitting in front of a fan here because there's no AC in this part of my homestead. It's AC in there, not out here. What's up, Grizz from Detroit? Yo. How are ya? How are ya? So yeah, it's high season. Most of the places around here, you guys should be out there pounding the pavement. 'Tis the time of year. Shout out to Austin Williams on Instagram. He's bartending school right now. Hopes to get into the biz. So keep up the good work, Austin. Like I was just saying, this is the good time of year to get into this industry because I'm gonna pull this down a little bit, see if I can get it without fucking up the camera angle. Dangerous. Oh my God, dangerous. Here we go. This is a good time of year to get into it because it's most places it's busier in the summertime, and so they're more likely to be needing extra help during the busy seasons. So while it may be counterintuitive that like you don't want to apply during busy season, that's actually when you have a higher chance of finding a job or finding a place that needs somebody is during the high season. Because they'll realize they're short-handed or somebody like will quit and they're like, oh my God, we need to hire somebody like ASAP. And so it can be important. Moving you guys over here a little bit. It can be important to make sure that you're out there all the time, but especially when it's high season for hiring. Because when it's slow and sleepy, there's less likelihood that you're going to find a job. Now, you don't want to go into the establishment when it's literally busy during the day, right? The classic time frame I always give is like in between 2 and 4 o'clock when it's kind of slow. But each place can be a little bit different. So if you go in there and it's busy, don't ask to talk to the manager because it'll show them that you don't understand the industry and they will not have time to talk to you about a job. So if you go in there and they're really busy, then try to come back another time. Grizz, bartending school worth it? Not sure if I already have made a video on this or not. Yes. Shake just linked that. Thank you. I was trying to figure out what he was linking and I missed your comment there, Grizz. So, what's up, Stasma, everyone? The thing with bartending school, is it worth it? So, we're speaking here in the US, right? So, different than Europe because Europe has a different system and structure for prepping their bartenders and service people. It's a little more formal. But here in the US, the bartending schools it's basically, there's no official framework for what has to be in a bartending school, right? They're basically just a dude that opened up a shop and made a a booklet with a bunch of drink recipes, and then he teaches those and then sells that as like a school, right? Basically. Like the guy that ran the school that I worked for, because that's how I know about bartending schools, is I worked at one for a while after I had already been a bartender for like 7 years. And then I worked at a bartending school. I'm like, wait a minute, what the fuck are they, what's going on here? That was kind of the motivation to start this whole channel. But so they're good in a sense that if you have the money and you're comfortable with just paying that money to get sort of a closer to real life simulation of what you'll be doing in the environment when you start working. It's not even that you even need to know all those crazy drinks that they're gonna make you memorize and test you on and shit. It's more about being behind the bar and getting that feeling of standing there and having somebody order something from you. So you get this like comfort. So if the price of the school is worth that comfort, then sure, it could be worth it. But generally, you don't need it. Most bartenders, at least that I know, and most here in the States, they get started, they don't ever go to school. Nobody goes to school. I didn't go to school. I walked in my first day as a bartender, I knew exactly 0 drinks. I know shit, never poured before, and know anything. So you can figure it out without bartending school. Don't fall into the like, we can help you get a job, which sometimes they will. They'll like have job boards. You know, some places I have heard can help you get a job, but generally, as that video that these videos that Shake is linking to that I talk about, that most bars, especially ones that you're really going to want to work at that are really busy, don't keep in touch with schools because they don't need to. Number one, because they have a ton of staff on the inside that they want to promote up and keep them happy. Number two, if they're really busy and it's a good happening bar, they have people that come in and apply constantly. So there's no need for them to reach out to some third-party bartending school that has 0 formal framework in the training that they're offering people anyway for them to maybe get somebody that'll be good, as opposed to just either promoting their own employees, first preference, or just waiting till tomorrow when somebody comes in off the street. Does that make sense? So it really is a matter of if you have the money and you can basically not care if you lose that money. Not lose it, but you're paying to get a mock comfort behind a bar. But it's going to be different. It doesn't matter how many times you do that. Your first time in a real bar is going to be a little more nerve-wracking just because it's going to be real life. But if you have, like, let's say, I'm not saying that you're on hard times, but let's say you're on hard times and you're like, I only have $500 in my bank account and the bartending school is $500 and I need to get a job. Definitely do not give them your last $500, whatever you do. Like, if you have $5,000 and you can give up $500 to go to school, fine. But if it's like any more than 10% of your total bank account, do not go to a bartending school. You don't need it. It's not necessary. You're really better off starting in other jobs, moving up from other positions. And then otherwise, watch all those videos and I talk about a lot of that stuff. It goes into much more detail. So there you go, Grizz. I hope that answers your question. Let's go back up here. Let me scroll up. Remember, if you guys ask questions, hang tight. I will get to them. Stace Mo, let me make sure I didn't skip anybody up here, up top here. We were talking about where everybody's at and the weather. Let's see. We got Austin Williams. Learned a lot from your videos, Chris and Lisa. Thank you. Appreciate that. Let's see. Okay, here we go. So JJ's asked, have a part-time job as bartending coming up next week and need this for a refresher course. Okay, sweet, piece of cake. So part-time will be easy. I'm assuming you're not going to be thrown to the wolves if you're not quite experienced. Like if you're coming and watching videos, probably on the newer end of the spectrum. So no worries, buddy. Just watch a couple of vids and you'll be all good. Remember, it's just having fun, right? They're not there to play Stump the Bartender. They're not there for you to entertain them. It's not about us. It's about them having a good time. We are just there to facilitate, make sure that they have everything they need. That's all we're doing, right? We're not putting on a show. We're making sure that they have everything they need. You guys good? Yeah? Right? You just come up and check on them every so often. You guys need anything? Get you another one of those? Yeah? All right, cool. That's it. Stay out of their way. Ask them how they're doing. How was their day? And if they decide to, and if they're talking to each other, don't interrupt and go like, so how was your day? It's like they're obviously talking. So you gotta have, you'll work on your social acuity and it will get really, really well honed. And you'll be able to read people so well after you do this job. Okay. Let's see. Stace Memo says, Melanie, where'd you find the template? I missed the memo. So Stace, there's a link from Shake. It's just if you go to the Bartending Blueprint website, which is like the formal training that I have put together from all this stuff. And yeah, bartendingblueprint.com/enter. And there's free templates right there. I used to have an email requirement, which I'll put back in at some point, but right now they're just free. Just go get them. And I'll take the karma points. So, Chris and Lisa, you were talking about EBS now before, because I want to go there and I get different answers about if it's worth it or not. You're talking about like European bartending school, Kristen? That's one of those things that's a little bit different from the States, because I know that there is certain requirements and certain trainings that you have to have. So European side and that's completely different. Like all my stuff is based on US based knowledge and training and working as a US based bartender. Now a lot of this, most of this will transfer anywhere in the world or anywhere you speak the language, but the specifics on types of things that you might be required to have before you can start to have, before you can work in countries outside of the US, I don't know about. So that's something I would say, check your local, I don't know, government website, whatever sanctioning body would have that information. And because I know, well, I don't know, I know that I think like in I think England? I don't know if it's England. Maybe is it just the Britons that you have to have a certification? And I know that their training's like pretty formal and pretty expensive too, I think. So, I don't know. Do your homework. I'll look into that. I should do like a worldwide bartending school or certification video. So, TM, good to know. You're welcome. Let's see here. Gotta scroll back up, make sure I'm not missing anything. Okay, good. Let's see. Leah Contreras, I haven't been able to keep up with live streams lately because I've been working so much as a bartender. That a girl. Just wanted to personally say thank you because your channel is what gave me the job, all the knowledge and confidence I needed to pursue the field after I studied your videos myself. Through a bartending academy to get hands-on training. I've never been a server. Oh, I've been a server for 2 years. There you go. Got a new job a few months ago. New manager asked me to go behind the bar since day one because he said he saw something in me. Nice. Making double the money I was making before and even upgraded my daughter's education because of it. That a girl. Well done. This is the happiest I've ever been. All started with your channel. Thanks. So grateful for the knowledge you share with us. Thank you sincerely. Changing the lives of others. Hey, Leah, that's awesome. That's why I do all this stuff. Congratulations to you and all your success. Congratulations on taking the knowledge that's here and using it. And I'm just as guilty as anybody else, right? I'll read books about stuff I'm interested in. It's like, God, that's awesome. I need to do that. And then I never do it, you know? So it's good on you for taking the information that's here and putting it to use. Because, you know, I'm not blowing sunshine up anybody's ass. Like, I just give it to you straight. I tell it like it is, and what I know directly from my experience, and because it was lacking, nobody was talking about it. Nobody still doesn't really talk about it. Everybody still wants to teach the drinks, because on this platform, that's what gets the views. Everybody's chasing the views, and of course I want to try to make this work kind of like a job. So I need views too. But it's like I'm not gonna not give you guys the best information just because I want more clicks or views or whatever the fuck. I'm trying to give you guys legit information that can do just like that, can help you change your life. So right on, Leah. That makes my night, girl. That makes my week. Cheers to you. All right. Stace Miller says, I didn't go to bartending school. You're right. You'll figure it out. You totally will. You figure it out, and you figure it out quick. It's like you figure it out in like a week or two. You know, obviously there's more that will come into it after that, but I mean, within a couple of weeks, you figure out like this is pretty basic shit. You know, this is not rocket science, as I've said a million times. Grizz K, any insight, English, on college bars at university right now, and am interested in becoming a bartender, barback. So just check the bars around campus, right? So just graduated last May, woohoo! And there's always a bunch of bars and an area, right, around the campus and around the town that the school is in that are kind of hot college bars, or popular. I wouldn't say hot, it's the wrong word. Popular college bars. Sometimes they're hot. Sometimes people in them are hot. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's a college bar or a Sparks bar or fine dining or nightclub or a pool bar. Everything that if you go watch any of my videos, it's all applicable to any kind of bar. It's all the same, really. The only difference is the uniform that you're wearing. And Shake, man, what are you doing? Thank you, buddy. Shake. That's like my bar back tipping me or something. What are you tipping me for, man? You're not supposed to do that. I appreciate it. Thank you, Shake. So just take any of my stuff, Grizz, right? Go. If Shake hasn't already done it, because I haven't scrolled all the way down there, and he's always on top of shit. The link to the getting a job bartending list, or how to get a bar. Can't even talk. How to become a bartender, no experience, playlist. So go to my playlist that I have that says how to become a bartender. Go through that stuff. Doesn't matter what type of bar it is. It's all the same applicability. I don't know if that's a word, but we're gonna say it is. And it all comes down to the same thing of you just going out there. You have to get to know somebody that can give you a job, or you just need to knock on the door, get to know the manager from following up enough times that eventually they go like, damn, this kid is relentless. Thank you, Shake. Check out that playlist, Grizz, that Shake just linked up. And but yeah, there's nothing special about college bars versus any other ones necessarily. So I'm trying to think if there's any extra nuggets that I could spin in the college way. I mean, I guess you could say that when you go into the place that you're applying to, that you are a student, and that you have a bunch of classmates, and that if you start working there, that you can help spread the word and promote, which I would assume is probably common with a lot of college bars employees, but would be definitely worth mentioning just so that they know, because they're always looking for ways to get people in there, right? When anybody's filtering a bartender, number one, it's like, do they have the ability to do the job? And then the second thing is they're filtering like the manager in their head when they're interviewing you. It's like, would this person bring business in? Would they be able to bring people in from the get-go, either from, in this instance, you're in college and you know a bunch of people, or if they're an attractive person that the locals might like that would come in, you know, or they have a giant email list that they blast or something, or who knows what, right? Their friends are huge DJs, whatever it is. So they're always filtering through that. So it's kind of a long-winded answer, but it's all the same, my man. Just dig into this information and it'll help you no matter where you're trying to get into. Okay, so let me try to catch up on some of these questions here. Trying to make sure. Polish bars. Okay. Yeah, thank you again, Leah. Haven't found a job at a bar, no worries. You can always work small parties or practice until you can find a bar. Says Shake. Absolutely. Practicing is, I mean, that's like what the bartending school is going to give you, at least in the States, right? Okay, so US based. The US based bartending schools, it's basically practice. It's good practice. So you can do that at home just as well. And honestly, if you have a big party with a bunch of friends come over and order drinks, you'll feel the stress, same thing as being a bartender. And it'll be good practice, so try to do that. Melanie W. Everyone makes recipes. Wait, did I see something different up here? No, okay. Melanie Dub says, everyone makes recipes differently. I've noticed when I ask at a trial what the recipes are, they think it's odd. But shouldn't the customer the same across bartenders in the same place? In the same place. Yes. Notice when asked a trial. So if you go from one bar to another, no. At the same place, yes, there should be consistency in the establishment and how drinks are made. But if you go from one place and you could go right next door to another place and they can make the same drink differently. Not completely differently, probably, but very much can be different. And so that's why you got to be careful. Don't get on your soapbox about right or wrong recipe. There's no such thing as right or wrong recipe. The recipe that your customer likes and drinks and enjoys is the right recipe. The thing that bums me out the most about like kind of some of the craft movement and the kind of turned up nose modern bartender is like, oh, you didn't make that right. That's not the original recipe. It's like, it doesn't matter. All we're doing is making alcohol palatable for our customers. So, and I'm not yelling at you or anything, Melanie. I'm just saying be careful that if it feels odd, if you're asking a question that feels odd in interviews, then you should stop asking that question, is what I would say. And if you're curious about how they make stuff, then just, or their way in which certain recipes are formatted, then you could say, hey, I noticed, I was looking at the menu and I saw that you guys make it like this or like that. I've always done it like this. Is there a reason, or is, you know, whatever. But don't say like, oh, I see you guys make this weird. That's not the right recipe. Don't say that. So, same place, yes, but from bar to bar, every savvy drinker knows that they're not going to get the same cocktail from the same bar or from every bartender they go to. There's going to be variance. There might even be variance from the same bartenders, you know, depending on if they work in a place that's free poured and whatever. So, but yes, in the same establishment, Melanie, the management should look to make sure that the drinks are consistent across the bartenders that work there. And most places do a pretty good job. That comes down to your management and the bar manager and stuff. And if it's, you know, if it's a situation where, and one of the places that I used to work at, we went through a phase where it was just kind of a bit of a free-for-all, and some people were making some drinks wildly different. and we had to kind of rein that in a little bit. But you know, it's not that big a deal. It's basically a meeting one time if you have a savvy crew of bartenders. Like, here, we're doing this, this, and this, and that's the way we're doing it. Period. The end. Okay, Zenith Gaming. Would I be better off getting experience as a bartender to get private parties, or get experience at private parties to get a job as a bartender? So it's gonna go the other way. So the latter. You're gonna get experience at private parties to get a job bartender much easier than you will. If you get a job as a bartender, you're not gonna want to go backwards to private parties. Generally, the bartending gig is gonna be a better gig than private parties. But we just hired a girl who's just kind of a part-time girl, a few days a week, and her other gig is working for a catering company, like party staffing company, and she likes it. She likes the flexibility. She likes that she's not committed every week and that she can kind of call off from stuff if she wants, because she has like kids that she wants to take care of. But the better off, it's not a better off, it's probably a matter of what will be easiest to procure employment in. And I would say it's easier to get a job at private party stuff, either for yourself or for like catering companies or staffing companies or bartending, mobile bartending companies, than if you were going for a formal bartending gig. So I'd say whatever you can get first, take it, use it as experience, and then keep moving up the chain. All right. Matthew Rhodes. Sorry, I'm way behind, guys. I'll try to pick up the pace here and catch up on your comments. Matt Rhodes, good to see you. Finally caught the cast. Yeah, I work at a bar. Okay, so back to Kristen Lisa, who's in Iceland. She's asking about the European bartending school systems. Work at a bar, so I think it's okay, but it's about $2,600 and has a lot included in that payment. Yeah, I know that the European, because the American bartending schools basically did a really poor job at knocking off the European bartending schools, which is where that stuff all originates. All the super crafty fucking suspenders and jiggers and stuff, that's all from Europe. So it's I'm sure it's quite, I think I looked up a long time ago, I looked up like the, not syllabus, what's the right word, like the kind of the criteria of everything that they put into the training, and it was very, very robust. And it's like, shit, if they had that type of training here in the States that was required, it would definitely put most people, you know, in a better position to start working. But however, it still comes down to like, they got to know you and they got to give you a shot. And if you don't have experience, it's still not experience. You're welcome, Kristen Lisa. Yeah, look into the stuff from your state, country, whatever, as I was saying. Shake says, I've been working my way into a few bars around here when I go pick up orders with Grubhub. That's a good idea. So there's a smart little side hustle. So like if you're side hustling, like what Shake said with Grubhub or DoorDash or any of those other ones, if you're in there and you're waiting for some food, start shooting the shit with the bartenders. Start shooting the shit with the manager. Get to know them, make some connections, because that could pay off down the road. Lucas Swag, what's up? Tom Swart, New Jersey Devils fan, apparently. My man. Hey, man, your videos really saved my ass while working. Between this channel, Smuggler's Code book, and practice at home, my tending has improved tenfold. Thank you so much for running this channel. You're welcome, Mr. Tom Swart. Cheers to you, buddy. Nice. Shake's got some links to some drinks. TM, this wedding will be free pour. Uh-oh, did I miss a comment from TM before? Oh, yes, you did. I got a wedding this weekend at Bartend. So nervous. No worries, TM. You be good. It's, what'd you say about the wedding? This wedding will be free pour. That's good. That just means you can make some saucy-ass drinks and people will be having a good old time. Remember, the key to longevity for people drinking, or for whatever, the key to a good cocktail whatever glass or cup or whatever you're making drinks into, make sure it is full of ice every time you make a drink. Otherwise, you'll put way too much booze and or way too much mix into the cocktail. And then, I don't know, just do a couple practice pours in the morning before, you know, with some bottles with water, or when you get there. Just, you'll be all right. Have a glass of wine or a beer or whatever before you get started, and take a deep breath. You'll be all good. What's my count? You do whatever count you want, right? So the standard that I kind of teach is like a 4-count, 1 ounce shot. So you got a 4 count. Each one of those counts is a 1/4 of an ounce. So that way you can go like 1 ounce, 2 ounce, 1.5 ounces. But in reality, my count in my head that I do is almost twice that pace. So, and for reasons that I can't explain here, but and I don't want to confuse anybody. So a good place, base fundamental count, 4-count, 1 ounce shot is a good one to stay in tune with. And you should be able to, you should be able to count and pour that. I can pour that if I need to, that pace. So just kind of work on that one leading up to that weekend when you got to work. What'd you say? It was next weekend? What'd you say? This weekend. Yeah, so you got a few days. You'll be all right. You could practice enough in a couple of hours and you'll be all right. So just take a couple days, get some empty bottles, get some pour spouts, and practice your counts. You'll be all right. When in doubt, pour them a little heavy. Fanger, what's up? How's it going? Sorry I've been busy. I haven't made live streams. How are you? Doing well, Fanger. Good to see you back. I drink mad certain way, then ask for an example. I like Long Island without tequila, so that's how I ordered it. I like it. See, that's why my original old one of my first videos I ever did, the Long Island iced tea, was no tequila, because people would order it without tequila all the time, like Fanger. So, yeah, that's why I made that first video like that. And now there was like a big need to have it in the Long Island, needs to have the tequila, and now it's funny because it's swinging back the other way. And now you're seeing all these Long Islands that are saying like, oh, no tequila, don't do it with tequila. But then there's still people that'll come and chime in with their 2 cents that say that tequila makes it a Long Island. Yeah, I am gonna reshoot that video soon, and I actually have a video from the guy that originally supposedly invented the Long Island, supposedly. And this is, a much more legitimate source than I am that was giving him credit for, I forget who it was, but it was somebody that was pretty legit, that did their homework and had figured out that this is the guy that basically invented the Long Island iced tea. And guess what? No tequila. So, right. Okay. Chris and Lisa, why do different bars have the different measurements in the same cocktails? The cocktails have an original measurement. It's kind of what I was talking about earlier, Kristen, that there's framework that you can learn for a recipe. If you go to a school, they'll teach you certain amounts, right? But in the end, what's up, VK? The answer is you're making these for customers. So however your customer wants it, if your customer orders it a certain way and it's not the way you learned it, don't tell them they're wrong. You say like, okay, no problem. It's like, no, that's not right. You need to have it with this, this, and this. So so many people in this world take themselves and this job way too seriously. People, we are pouring alcohol so people can get drunk. Okay, there's no need to oversimplify. And I'm not, again, Chris, I'm not yelling at you. I'm just saying, many people out there in the bartending world get so uptight about recipe perfection that it just, they're missing the whole point of the whole thing. right? All we're doing is social lubricators as bartenders. That's all we're doing. We're just creating a fun, relaxed atmosphere so that people can have a good time and they'll want to come back and have those good times again. That's it. Don't get hung up on the ingredients or the drinks or the amounts, because that is on the side of just helping facilitate a good time for people when they're coming into a bar. So that's why you'll see variants, because some people like maybe I start a restaurant, right, and I make a margarita with like fucking vodka or something, right, because I had a local that loved it and I said I like that drink, so I'm gonna put that on my menu because I think other people will like it. Doesn't mean I'm wrong or the drink's wrong or the person that liked it was wrong. It is what it is. There's an infinite amount of way to make drinks, and getting hung up on exact amounts and stuff, it's just not something you need to really worry about too much unless you work in a place that's really fucking strict about it and they really want you to be super accurate about your cocktails, in which that case you gotta be on point with it. But generally don't get too hung up about it. All right, syllabus course overview. Man, I'm way behind on these comments, so hang tight, you guys. If you ask a question, I will get to it, so hang tight. Shake's doing his best to answer it as well. He's a little ahead of me. Let's see here. Yep. TM, don't forget your tip jar out at the wedding. You're welcome, Tom Swart. What's up, Young Weasel? Young Weasel, I like that. What's up, man? Trevor Lamprey. Oh, Trevor, what? You never got your shirt? Really? Oh, fuck, man. I don't know, bro. I'll double check. Buddy. That went out a long time ago. That should have been there like a month or two ago. Son of a bitch. Ended up probably sending it to your neighbor or something. Fuck me. Send me an email, Trevor. No, I'll look you up. Never mind. I'll look you up, buddy. Sorry, that went out ages ago, bud. Yeah. I don't know what the deal is with that. I will look into it, my friend. I apologize. That should have been there a long time ago. I sent all that shit out to everybody. Okay. So, if that's the case, Trevor, my apologies for the oversight. I was gonna say I'll give you another shirt, but I'll send you another one to give you the one that should have been there already. And then I'll also I'll give you a complimentary membership to the website. So yeah, sorry, my man. Send me no, I'll sign you up. So I'll get you all dialed in, buddy. I'll take care of that shit tomorrow, because that should have been a long time ago. Man, I apologize, Trev. Didn't mean to let you down, yo. That's not acceptable. We'll get it sorted out. Okay. So, where are we at here? Make yourself a practice drink. Come, yeah, for TM. Yep. Okay, Tom Swart. Had a customer last week complaining that the zombie I made him was too strong. Main lesson in bartending is everyone is different, and sometimes it's difficult. My answer is I call it my take on the blah blah blah. Yeah, good call, Tom. I mean, we pour. Yeah. Sorry, Trevor, dude. That's not cool. We pour our drinks super strong. Our shit's all free poured, and our owner has intentionally let it just kind of like, he knows we poured heavy. He knows that a lot of our people come in because they like the drinks that we make because we pour them heavy. So, I mean, you just splash a little bit more of the mix in there, kind of soften it up a little bit. But that's a rare thing. That just means you guys are pouring them like you should, in my opinion, Tom. So every once in a while that'll happen. Every so often people go, ooh, that's pretty hot. Can you give me a little extra mix? Okay, Courtney Cochise. Hey, new to this channel. I've been thinking about being a bartender. Do you have any beginner's advice for me? Oh man, where to begin, Courtney? Yeah, check the all the playlists. Scroll up and look at all the playlists that Shake had put in there earlier, Courtney, and especially like the how to become a bartender playlist, Bartending 101, the working bartender. It's gonna say bartending basics, but that's the Bartending 101. Yeah, like Bartending 101, how to become a bartender, the working bartender playlist. Go watch the videos in all of those, especially the how to become a bartender. That has a lot of really good information. Jaron Jacob. It's my favorite one of my favorite little cruise control loggers. Going high class. I got a lime in there. Look at that. Got a lime. Living high on life. Oh my God, I almost dumped it over. Like a rookie. Suck it up, Rook. So, yeah, go watch all those, Courtney. BK. What do you do? Whoop, jumping. What do you do if your restaurant has a specialty cocktail that is constantly getting sent back? That's kind of funny. But the beverage managers refuses to acknowledge it. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. That's one where you, I would say, I don't know the structure of your establishment, so I'll give you this and say be careful. But I would go to the next up in the chain of command. Maybe it's the owner. Maybe they don't care, and so maybe you keep making it, and it keeps getting sent back if you're worried about getting in trouble. But just anytime it comes up in conversation with the managers or the owners, you can just like, yeah, that cocktail sucks because everybody sends it back. I know that like every time we redo our menu, which is once a year or so, we will sit down and we'll do a formal assessment of each cocktail. Not formal assessment. We'll basically kind of go down the list and like, does this sell, yes or no? And why? And then we'll kind of tweak the menu accordingly. Usually not by a whole lot. Usually out of, 10, 12 drinks, there's kind of one or two bad eggs that you just like, okay, well that thing sucked and it didn't move. It could be something like VK, wait, was it VK that asked that? Yeah. It could be one of the things, VK, where the liquor distributors will sometimes get in agreements with the ownership and management to keep a cocktail on the menu for kickback reasons. Like they'll get cheaper deals on the cases of booze that they buy, or they'll pay for, like our liquor distributors will pay for like t-shirts and, like employee t-shirts to put a little logo on the side, right? Or they'll pay for the menus because it'll say made with Kettle One vodka or whatever the fuck. So there could be some of that happening as well. So that's why I say be careful about just going up and throwing one of your managers under the bus. But it, I mean, I can feel your pain about talking to owners and managers, and it's like you're banging your head against the wall because they just don't listen. No matter how many times you tell them, they just don't think. It's not that they don't believe you, it's just that they think that they know better. So that's just another kind of one of the things that you see, I would assume, in most industries. The managers that think they know no matter what their generals on the front line are telling them. Let's see. Thanks, TM. Shake Trevor Lamprey, if you have a leave. Oh yeah, sorry, that was where this go. Let's see. Vanilla, got that cool. Precious beer, drinking water. Bangers, man. I like that. Call it like it is. Yeah, I'm gonna tell. I'm the first one to admit. I'm a fucking pussy drinker now, man. Most of you guys would probably drink me under the table in a hot second. I know how to pour it and facilitate, but I don't drink. Not like I used to. I'm a pussy. No, I mean that's not true. I just don't drink very much. I know what I'm drinking. I like certain stuff, but I just the amount is drastically down from what I used to do. So I just don't drink that much anymore, honestly. And so this stuff is cruise control. Keeps me out of trouble, Fanger. Keeps me from getting too crazy and wasted. You're welcome, Courtney. Yeah, check out those playlists. All right, I got to the bottom of I got to the bottom of them. Nice, and right at 9 o'clock. So I'll throw out a 5-minute, 5-minute warning for questions. Let's see. All right, definitely check those out. Tom Swart, do what I do. Keep a tally on what's sold and what's returned. Yeah. There you go. That's a good call, Tommy. Right, were you the one that was talking about? No, that's VK. Okay. Oh, do what I do. Keep a tally on what's sold and what's returned. Yeah, I mean, that's laborious. The managers should be doing that anyway, right? The owners, hopefully, I mean, I would assume you're selling through some sort of a POS system, right? I don't know. Is there anybody who just uses like cash drawers anymore and just sells, they don't even know what they're selling. There's like $5, cling, right? I would assume that if it's going through a POS system, they can see what's selling and what's not. So that would be laborious, I think, what Tom is saying. But if not, then yeah, you should definitely show them. But you just got to be careful. You don't want to be this drink sucks or I know better kind of an attitude. You just got to be careful. Just been creating my own drinks whenever someone orders it and been getting better feedback, but I don't want to get caught. So yeah, I mean, like if people like stuff, that's cool, but I would be careful blatantly. Like if somebody, I don't know where you're at or what the rule, like what state you're in, but I know that if somebody orders something and you give them something else, that's technically illegal. Like in California, even if it says, like even if it's a margarita, right? It's on the menu at my bar, margarita, and it says this tequila. If I make it with a different tequila, even though they would not be able to tell, if they could, and they could prove it, that it was made with a different tequila than what was on the menu, that is illegal. So you got to be careful if somebody's ordering a drink and you're giving them something else. So check the laws in your state, because that's one of those stupid things that if you get caught for, you're like, what the fuck just happened? So I don't know how you would ever get caught for that. I don't know. I wouldn't really worry about getting caught too much, but I would say it's more like if somebody's like, make me something, and then that's when you can experiment with stuff, as opposed to like just giving people blatantly different shit, unless you're talking to them and they said it's cool. Dominic Zambrano just started bartending in a cafe that just opened up as a night venue. That's cool. Super new to bartending, just started watching your 101 videos. Thanks for the lessons. You're welcome, Dominic. Good luck. Keep us posted how it goes and as you're growing. As you'll see, it's easy peasy stuff. Just a lot of fun. Just have fun with it. Apollo Crater. Beer has vitamins. Beer does have vitamins. Right. Tom Swart, mine did away with POS. Oh man, that's just so archaic. Anytime an establishment doesn't have a POS system, I just think of like what was the movie, Studio 54, where they were just like washing the you know, fully shady stuff. They would wash the cash registers halfway through the shift, start over. There's you know, complete paper accounting. There's always some shady shit going on. Yeah, they know, says VK. Mosh and Finger, like the Mai Tai, but make it a certain way, so I'll ask them how they make it. If they make it the way then I'll order it. Been on health a lot though, and don't drink anymore. Yeah, that's good. Drinking's fucking the devil, man. This stuff's terrible for you. It's my internal conflict. It's such a fun job, but I'm like a purveyor of alcohol, which technically over the long term doesn't do a whole lot of people a whole lot of good. But it's a good time, and we can have a good lot of fun at our job. Pastor T. Mitchell, like marrying bottles. What do you refer to in this marrying bottles? You gotta be careful, Mr. Mitchell. You gotta be careful when you're marrying bottles. Definitely. Yeah. Oh yeah. In terms of like illegal shit. Yeah. Bottle marrying is illegal, but it's one of those things that happens all the time. PK, yeah, sketchy. Losing so much money because of it, says Tom Swart. I don't know. I mean, you can. It's the lead a horse to water. We can't make it drink. I don't. You know, it's like you make your case like you're doing, Tom, and you take it to the owners in a way that's not trying to vilify your managers or fellow coworkers in any way. And if they still don't get it, then you just got to be like, all right, you're a fucking idiot. You know, what can you do? Because there's been stuff that I've taken to owners before that is so black and white, and like, this is what you need to do because we have this huge problem, and they'll just be like, okay, and then they just nothing. Like, what the fuck is going on around here? So, all right, we're 6 past, guys. Getting to last call for questions. Make sure to follow on all the social media platforms, because that's why Shake's here, because I'm really bad about all that stuff. YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, it's all at Bartending Pro. Make sure you subscribe to the channel is a big one, so that you have notifications whenever this live stream pops up. Make sure you have your little notification bell turned on. Notifications anytime I post new videos, which as of lately has been Thursdays and some Sundays. So have a new one coming up for you guys. I batch shot a bunch of stuff, so I should be on point to make sure I can get those posted for you guys each week, coming up over the coming weeks. Ben the bartender, what's up, man? Showing up late to the party, fashionably late. Lucas Swag, what's your bar called? So I work down in Del Mar at a place called En Fuego. It's kind of a little beachy Mexican joint on the 101 through Del Mar. Come on down, come visit. I'm usually there Wednesday through Saturday. Pastor T. Mitchell. So I'm a new bartender, as I don't drink. Would you trust me? Of course. As an owner, I would trust you more. The people that get into this industry will, I don't know how to say the people. There's a large percentage of people who work in this industry who take advantage of their positions and drink the house away or give the house away. And so as someone who doesn't drink, I would not be worried about that as an owner. Like if I was an owner and you worked for me, I wouldn't worry. I would not worry that you have, as a non-drinker, as opposed to if you were a drinker, you may have other heavy drinker friends that could be potentially coming in and be tempted for you to hook them up excessively. Right? So, I don't know if I would say my perfect staff would be no drinkers, because I think you need to have a lot of them that can know what the, to be able to taste stuff. But I definitely think is a good idea to have people in your establishment that don't drink, because they're not swayed by the golden nectar of the gods or whatever. Right. So 100% I would trust you, buddy. I would trust you more than most, actually. Ben the bartender. Never marry bottles. Of course not. I never marry bottles. I've never done it, ever. I promise. The main thing is just for cleanliness and for like shadiness, right? They don't want to take Cuervo and pouring it in a 1942 bottle and try to pass it off at $50 a shot for some shit that's garbage. So, and then the other thing is cleanliness, right? Then contamination from one or the other, even though it's alcohol and it sanitizes everything, still bad habits. So don't marry bottles. And if you absolutely have to, then make sure that you don't do it in front of anybody that's gonna get you in trouble. Ben the bartender. You don't have to drink, but you need to know your mixes and portions. Absolutely. All right, TM, good to see you. Have a good night. Pastor Mitchell currently doing tasting parties to make sure my recipes are not crap. There you go, buddy. Practice makes perfect. Can we do a home cocktail contest on one of the media platforms? Like pick a cocktail for the week, submit a picture by a certain day, and the best looking gets credit via Instagram or something. That is a great idea, Tom. In fact, let's do that. So we'll put a campaign on all of those, but really my best reach is here on this platform. So I'm trying to think the best way to do this. Maybe I'll put a video out, and what I would do is explain the contest. Then you have to post the recipe and a picture on like Insta. Don't think about it, but it'll probably be like Instagram. And then I will take the winner's cocktail and I will make it in an actual video. How about that? What do you think about that, Tom? I like that. Good call, Tommy. On point with that. So I'm gonna take a picture of that. That is a good one to remember. There we go. Sweet, Thomas. Thank you for contributing. So there we go. Remember, you can always watch these live streams, as Shake said. The next day, these usually post. I think they come live actually within half an hour to an hour after this, but you'll get an official notification in like your email or whatever if you're a subscriber the next day. Yeah, I like that, Tommy. Been compiling ideas from interactions. So there we go. So I'm gonna make a video that will announce that, and you will. So you guys can get started now, if you would like. Think of a drink recipe, and you'll have some time, so you don't have to like do this, like tonight, right? That's me, right? It's like fuck. This takes forever for me to get anything done. So the concept will be, for those of you that are here still watching, you'll have a head start. We'll do a community contest where presentation counts, because we're gonna pick based on the recipe and the picture, and we'll try to be careful to not just automatically give it to someone that's got the best picture, because if you have a good camera, you'll have a good picture if you're a good photographer, but maybe the drinks, you know what I mean? So we'll try to take it all into account, but presentation during the picture will count. And come up with a drink recipe, take a picture, post it on there, and then I will pick the winner and then make a video with your recipe for this channel. And you will live on, and it will live on in infamy forever. And you can call it whatever you want, as long as it's not hateful or racist or anything like that. Then we're, you can call it my cat's butt fur or something like that if you want, whatever. So have at it, and thank you, Tom Swart, for that idea. That was awesome. Just add mixes. And we have a minute. Oh, PT or Pastor TD Mitchell was asking, anybody have an opinion on pre-mixes like Long Island or Hurricanes? Just add mixes. Generally, they're really cheap, high sugar crap. Not crap, just super processed, which I guess is crap. So depending on who you talk to, Pastor, the crafty folks will really hate on any pre-mixed stuff, right? You know, because they just like the clean, fresh stuff. Yeah, you know, like from scratch is always better. Always. It's like cooking, you know. It's like hand making a meal versus a fucking TV dinner or something. It's like, sure, the TV dinner is gonna work and it might be a meal, but it's not gonna be anywhere near as good as if, you know, the dude from Top Chef came in your house and made that same meal from scratch. So same thing, hipsters. Shake. I wasn't saying hipsters. Was I saying that? I think the only thing I've said is like sweet and sour, but I wasn't too great. Just add mixes. Gonna go from scratch. Yeah, always. You're not a hipster, Shake. Who's not? What is even a hipster? What does that even mean? It's just a common nomenclature for someone who happens to be on the cutting edge of certain trends at the time. Hipster is just the common term for them today. It's almost, depending on where you're at, could be a comment. All right, so we're about quarter past an hour here. So I want to wrap it up. Last call, final last call. Thank you guys for coming in, watching the show, supporting. I love y'all. Couldn't do it without you. Get started working on those drink recipes for the social contest. You'll see notification about that soon. And if you have any questions, if you're watching this video after it originally posted, you can leave them in the comments below, or you can send me an email to support@bartendingblueprint.com. That is my email. Send me an email. Ask me any questions. Trevor, if you're still on here, I'm sorry, man. I love you. I'll get you a t-shirt, and I'll get you a free membership to the site, to the website as well, for dropping the ball on your t-shirt, because that was supposed to be there like fucking forever ago. So sorry, my man. Buy cheap liquor, says Ben the bartender. Pastor, okay, now you guys are flooding questions. Pastor Mitchell says, I'm bartending a private party that I'm not getting paid, only tips, and I'm providing the liquor just to work on my craft. Be careful, Pastor. Supplying the liquor makes you responsible for anything that happens after the fact. I would highly recommend that you get yourself an insurance policy, because if you provide the liquor, somebody drinks too much, and they drive home and smash and kill somebody, if that goes to court, they're going to pull your ass up there on stage and want to hang you from the rafters. That's why most of the time when I tell people to do private parties, I tell them to let the person that's throwing the party to provide the alcohol, because it puts the responsibility on whoever brings and procures the alcohol, whoever provides the alcohol basically has the responsibility. So be very, very careful. And if you're going to bring the alcohol and you're not insured and you don't have a public serve license, which might also be required, then do not overserve people. Be very careful. And it might seem like I'm making a big deal out of this, and it's because it is and can be a very serious thing. So be careful with that, but you're on the right track. Keep practicing. Okay. Shake says I'm the OG hipster. I claimed to be one before it was cool. My man. You got a cool like 1-speed bike and all that shit. I love it. Buy cheap liquor. That's like a rip-off to me, TD. You gotta be careful. Ben the bartender. In my day we drank PBR because it was cheap. Yeah, man. See, that's a weird one, right? Like Ben was saying, the PBR thing. It's funny now because it's like hip to drink it. I grew up in Oregon, and a lot of my friends drink that shit because it's cheap, but then they have this weird affinity to it, because personally, I think PBR tastes like, I don't like that beer, which is ironic considering I drink light water beer, but PBR, it's just got a weird, funky, fucking tinny taste to it that I don't like. It's like Schlitz and fucking Rainier and like all those beers, the cheap beers, they're just like, oh, horrible. Cheap American beers are the worst. So the whole like PBR hipster thing is, I'm with you. I don't get it, but to each their own. So should I sell the bottles I bought to the host? That could be one option. I mean, that would be better than if you brought it, for sure. If you already bought them and you're worried about it, then yeah, I would say, here, I got a little, you know, I'll do this party for you, but I need you to buy them from me because you're throwing the party. I don't know how you're gonna have to approach that carefully, but you don't want to freak them out. But yeah, think about it. Think through that one a little bit. Shake, never had PBR, to be honest. You're not missing anything, buddy. Spicy water. Bush. Schlitz. Bush. Nice. Only Mexican beers I drink are Dos Equis and Sol. Gee, it's illegal. Alright. Okay, you guys. I think that's going to do it for that one, because we're just spiraling down into talking about our favorite cheap beers. Head for the mountains and puke. Yep. Right, you guys, that is officially going to do it for this episode of Making You a Bartending Pro. I'm Jason. Cheers, y'all, for coming in, hanging out, and supporting this channel. I will see you next week, Tuesday, 8 p.m. Pacific Daylight Standard, whatever you want to call it, Pacific Time, West Coast United States time. And remember to keep your eyes peeled. New videos coming out this Thursday and probably Sunday. And remember to get started on your recipes for the... We'll have to come up with a cool name for it. Tom, you still on here? What's a cool name for it? Community drink contest? What should we call that? It'd be called viewer appreciation? Nah, too cheesy. I don't know. Let's noodle on that, what we could call it. If you got good ideas, throw it out there. Community cocktail off. It kind of sounds sexual and dirty. That might work. That might work. Okay. The cocktail mix off. Something. We'll play with that. All right, you guys. Have a good night. Get out there and kick some ass. Knock on some doors. Follow up. Get yourself a job. And then keep us posted and tell it how it goes. Until then, thanks for showing up and supporting. I appreciate it. I will see you guys all soon in the next episode of Making You a Bartending Pro. Take care.